teams really both looking to either continue their dominance or to reassert their dominance early here in the season.
It's on the court for USC, Zamprano as well as Blanchette. Has Dykstra as well as Klein, Roberts, and Sterling Foley, who has a brace on his left ankle. Back to serve for Ohio State, Shane Wetzel, the player to watch today. Around him, he is Hudson wearing the red for the libero. Henwood Rodriguez ready to help as well. Pickering in there, and front and center, Salvatores. So let's go start things off. And to start, it's a service error for Wetzel. Not the way you want to start if you're Ohio State.
Really not the way you want to start. And continuing to play efficient is what USC wants to do. So let's see if they're able to capitalize on this error from Ohio State.
Zamprano back to serve. Didn't play last match against Fort Valley. Set comes in for Chasinski, doesn't get anything. Great job by Wesley Smith, taps it up in the air. Klein sends a free ball across and a good play. Henwood Rodriguez smacks it down.
Right there, Andrew, we saw again this Ohio State team really scrappy, able to get under a few balls, dig them out, and capitalize on a USC attack that was not that strong on that point.
It's a good way to bounce back as well. Service across from Pickering. Here comes Foley, is rejected at the net. Kept alive off of the foot. Here comes Dylan Klein.
What an absolute save there by Caleb Blanchette to keep the ball up off the foot and allow Dylan Klein to answer big. As we take another look here at the replay, or rather, maybe we'll take a look in just a couple of seconds, but great play for USC as we're going to get a challenge here.
Yeah, not really necessarily a surprise from Kevin Birch, 7th year at Ohio State, but he's been there for quite a bit of time as a full-time assistant back in 2015 when he helped push the team to back-to-back national championships in 2016 and 2017. But we finally get a look at the replay of exactly what happened. It's not necessarily here we're looking at. Foley sends it across. Oh, what a play. It looks like possibly Roberts got the foot up, and a great job from USC to keep playing through the point until the final whistle.
It really was, and from that angle, it's really hard to tell, Andrew, but just making it hard to tell is a great job to keep the ball moving and keep the ball up for the Trojans, showing some fight there during that rally.
Yeah, Noah Roberts was a guy who played really well against Fort Valley. 10 kills. He was one of 3 guys with double-digit kills, and we're able to take a look at it from a different angle this time. It was the block off of the hands of Salvatores. It's tough exactly to see. Wesley Smith thought he got it. A little bit of a grin there from Coach Nygaard. He knows that if he was able to get that point, that's a big start to this match. The official just next to us, still taking a long look at it, and we'll take one more. Patrick, what are you seeing here? Because it was a great block from Salvatores.
It really was, and I think what I'm looking at here is if the ball changes direction before it seems to hit the ground, I can't tell from that angle. It's really close, but we'll see what the refs have to say, Andrew.
Yeah, I agree, and Salvatores not a stranger to block. 7th in the MIVA conference in blocks, sitting at exactly 20. Has a chance for possibly 21 here, or it would be Dylan Klein and possibly his first kill of the day of what could be many. Not a stranger to getting kills, had 10, one of 3 players in last match to hit the double figures column, but didn't do it as efficiently as he would have liked, hitting at 300, and that brought his percentage way down. He's hitting currently right now at 589, but that number could be a whole lot higher, huh?
It really could. And if we take another look at that play.
And after review, they do give it to Ohio State.
It's really good there. And if you take a look at Noah Roberts' expression, it did seem like he didn't really seem to know, and the referees seem to have made the right choice there, Andrew.
So after the overturn, Ohio State leads 2-1 in set number 1. Blanchette, here comes Roberts, and a great dig. Hudson takes it out. And on the other side, Roberts, another good one. Blanchette sends across, Klein, a free ball over. Set to the back row for Pickering, and it's rejected at the net front.
It was a great play by Wesley Smith there. Create the wall, be the middle blocker, show why he's so valuable to this team as we took another look there at that point.
Blanchette for the service, tied up at 2. Here comes the big right hand from Chasinski. In response, Ohio State.
Really great play there to respond. Playing within the system, got a quality look, was able to settle everything down there and regain a little bit of momentum.
Preseason 2026 All-MIVA squad, and you see it for a reason. You'll hear his name a lot today. Foley takes it out. Blanchette finds Roberts. It's off of hands. Sent Chasinski one more time. This time Smith and DK say no thank you.
It's a great combo block there. And Ohio State seemed to be a little bit at odds with the set, with Owen being a bit out of sorts when he hit that ball.
Here comes Klein, hits a missile down to the other side. Another ace for Dylan Klein. He's up to 9 on the year.
Dylan Klein really showing why he's one of the best players in the country, able to really take over beginning parts of this game.
5th in the MPSF in service aces. That number will move up a lot. Another one. Finally able to pulled out by Pickering. Here comes the left hand from Wetzel. Dug out by USC. Roberts just sent it across. A close set for Grimm. Roberts one more time, sends it to the back row off of the hands of Wetzel and into the band. And we're able to hear from McKenna Artiaga one more time. What do you got for us?
We've heard a lot of offensive production from this team early, and a lot of that is due to Wesley Smith. Already 2 blocks early in this set, and when speaking with head coach Jeff Nygaard early, he said Wesley Smith is young in volleyball, but incredibly physical and very athletic, and he just loves learning this sport, and when he gets a good approach, the opponents can do everything right, but there is no answer for the type of shots that Wesley Smith has. Back to you, Andrew.
How about that from Wesley Smith, but Sterling Foley as well. The foot looks just fine.
Really great play there. Got the solo block sky and high to give USC an even bigger lead here in the first set.
6-3, they doubled up Ohio State. Klein sends a changeup across. Dykstra, a great dig. Klein from the back row, pulled out by Hudson.
It's back-to-back points there, Andrew, with great digs from Dykstra, able to keep the point alive and allow USC to capitalize and extend this lead as it's now 7-3. Or rather, actually, it's 6-4 as the referees awarded the point to Ohio State.
Chasinski did find the back line. Haywood Rodriguez to bring it across with topspin. Blanchette back set. Roberts puts it into the hardwood. Sends it straight down into the basement.
No doubt on that one, Andrew. Absolute emphatic slam. As we take another look, the 6'8 redshirt junior able to slam it home in the middle of the court.
He's up to 2 kills in a hurry. Smith back to serve. Tied for the 2nd tallest player in program history. Lost one across. Blanchette able to pull it out. Roberts one more time, trying to feed the hot hand. Hudson, Chasinski doesn't get it across. Or instead off of the hands of USC, so it'll be 7-5.
It's great here to see Ohio State continue to battle back point after point. It has been able to really keep this game close, Andrew, early.
Chasinski can't get it across, so it will be 8-5 USC over Ohio State here in set number 1.
And that's really something you can't do if you're the Buckeyes. You're the underdogs, already given 2 service errors and awarded USC 2 points.
Roberts with the big right hand, can't get it. That's a team that will hunt for aces. They know service pressure is a big thing. It's something that Coach Nygaard talked about actually quite a bit with us. They're leading the MPSF with 2.2 service aces per set, but with that, the errors do start to appear. 8-6 USC over Ohio State in the first set. Joust at the net. Klein tosses it up. Blanchette just has to send it over. A set to the right hand of Salvatore. He's able to snag the point.
And the Buckeyes have been doing a really good job early of getting quality attacks, which have kept USC out of system and allowed the Buckeyes to get more quality attacks in these longer rallies.
8-7, Buckeyes trail by 1. And make it 9-7, Buckeyes trail by 2. Another service there up front, the third so far of this match for Ohio State.
In this 7-9 matchup, 1/3 of USC's points being service errors is not a great sign for the Buckeyes moving forward.
Foley lofts it high and a huge ace.
As you're talking about, that's the upside to hunting for aces. You tend to get them, especially when you're as talented of a team as the Trojans are. So we'll see if this strategy continues to pay dividends for them moving forward.
Service ace number 2 on the season for Foley. So he sends another across. Trojans lead 10-7 over Ohio State in set 1. Wetzel tries to get it across, and USC blocks it down. Looks like Zamprano blocked it back that time, and a timeout is called by Kevin Birch.
It's really great, Andrew, to start for USC. Able to weather a bit of a storm, extend the lead slowly. Now it's 7-11, or 11-7 rather, USC. Let's see if they're going to be able to continue to fight through and extend this break and extend this lead through the first set.
Yeah, Coach Birch really just didn't like what he saw on a 3-0 run from USC. But for Noah Roberts' show, Sterling Foley with a handful of huge blocks as well, and a service ace next to his name. But the number 13 Buckeyes looking for a big upset win over number 4 USC. It's going to be Foley back to serve once again for the Trojans. And launches it way off the back. Second service error of the day so far for USC.
Goes 1 for 1 there, gets a service ace, then a service error, as he's looking to continue to keep the pressure on the Buckeyes and as they continue to try to make this lead a little bit bigger.
11-8, and a cut serve just misses the far side from Shane Wetzel. And it looks like Kevin Birch is going to challenge yet again. He's 1 for 1 so far today. And it seemed that his entire team had backed up Wetzel's serve and thought it was pretty good. It was hard to see from here on that far line.
Exactly, Andrew. And it did have some great movement on it. If they're able to paint the corner, that'll be a great job for the Buckeyes. This will be a big point here and a big swing early in this first set.
12-8 right now, counting the service error. So it's either going to be 12-8 or 11-9, depending on what the official review is. Looking at it closely, it is very close over on the Jumbotron. A little bit of peeking as well to my right toward what the official's looking at. And it looks like we are going to get an answer momentarily. It was certainly close, but the answer is a little bit quicker than before.
And this would be really a great swing call here, Andrew. And it looks as if it is going to be another successful challenge here, Andrew.
So Kevin Birch 2 for 2 on challenges so far today, but more importantly, Shane Wetzel with the service ace, the 7th so far this season for him. Wetzel back to serve once again. He got the service line, but up front's really where he shines, averaging 4 kills a set. A joust up in front, Blanchette can't get it. Zamprano tries to take it with the foot, and a point for Ohio State. Only down by 1. Now they're on a 3-point run of their own.
Owen Pickering really able to just meet at the apex and dominate there on that point, giving the Buckeyes the advantage there.
Big left hand from Wetzel. Roberts comes down with the hammer. 12-10 USC, back up by 2 in set number 1.
As we take another look here, it's another big right from Noah Roberts. Been able to find the middle of the court again and again, Andrew, which has been one of the best examples here of the Trojans' depth.
Zamprano lofts one over, a long run for Henwood Rodriguez. Blanchette backs at Roberts one more time, off of the hands in front of a mixture of Pickering as well as Salvatores.
And it's been really impressive here to see this back and forth battle. And honestly, the battle at the net, now back-to-back points decided at that apex.
Zamprano with number 2 hits the net. So a short service run for him, and Dykstra will come in. Pickering back to serve for the Buckeyes. 7 kills yesterday against UCLA. 4 service errors, though, as well. Blanchette, close set, Wesley Smith looks right, fires left, and puts it home.
What a great shot there by Wesley Smith. Was able to really rise up as we take another look at this hit. Got his full head above the net and slammed it home.
That's what 6'11" will do, and that's on the shorter end. Roberts wins the joust for USC. Klein with the hit at the net. Jasinski launches it way out right. And another point for the Trojans. And it looks like Coach Kevin Birch will use the green card for the 3rd time. He's 2-0 so far today. We'll see if he's 3-0. They're looking to see if there was a touch at the net possibly.
It was really close. When I was looking at it live, the ball did seem to maybe change a little bit of direction, but that could have been from the slam rather than from the Buckeyes touch, or the Trojans rather, touching it on the deflection. So let's see what the replay has in store for us, Andrew.
And USC had a pretty good combo block coming across. It did look like Jasinski sailed it a little bit. It was hard to see whether there was a deflection in front. Coach Nygaard, stoic as always, has so much trust in his players. And it's kind of funny to see him compared to some of the other players in the huddle. He was talking about when he started the job at USC. He was the tallest guy, and that was just period. But he says, now you can't even see me inside of the huddle with how tall some of the players are. Has the tallest player in USC volleyball history, Parker Tompkinson, and tied for number 2 in his other player, middle blocker, Wesley Smith. Also able to see, though, Coach Kevin Birch. I said it before, the 9th head coach in Ohio State men's volleyball history. 7th year with the Buckeyes. 2-0 on challenges so far today, but you talk about a guy who trusts his players. He does it as well. A lot of these challenges, he looks directly at his players, and they say, yeah, I think we should challenge, and he goes ahead, grabs the green card, and goes for it.
And it's paid dividends so far. As you said, 2-0 in challenges in this first set. Let's see if it's going to be 3-0. Seems like we're getting a decision soon here.
Well, it does seem that Ohio State and Kevin Birch are 3-0. They've overturned it, and Ohio State gets the point.
This is a 6-point swing, Andrew. Right now it's 14-12. Could very easily be 17-9 if it wasn't for what they've been doing, which has been really impressive from the Ohio State's coaching staff to recognize when they should challenge and challenging accordingly.
You're completely right, Patrick, and it's trust in players. Salvatore sends a missile across. Blanchette to Smith and pins it in front of the net and the blockers.
And now, once again, USC responding. After each of the past 3 challenges, they've gotten a quick point to reset momentum and stabilize themselves.
Coach Nygaard has talked about Smith and just his physicality alone, how impressive it truly is. Back set for Wetzel, and he finds the floor.
And let's send it over to McKenna Arteaga with a sideline hit for us.
Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. You know, Ohio State really not showing any sign of wear or tear from that match yesterday against UCLA. We talked about how it was the longest set played in NCAA history. The previous record was 88 points sent by Grand Canyon against #1 BYU all the way back in 2021. Ohio State making some history there. And when I spoke to their head coach earlier about it, he said that he was so proud that they were fighting, had that toughness, that grit, and they really brought everything to that match. And Kevin Birch, he himself just achieved his 100th win earlier this season. And about that, he said he wants to give it all to the players, and he's more proud of the team as a whole and what they're going up against. And really, the guys earn it, and he doesn't want to take that win away from his team. Back to you, Andrew.
And you're right, he did get his 100th win. That was against Lincoln Memorial not too long ago. There's a point to each direction, 16-14, both of these teams battling it out here in set number 1. Trojans up by 2 over Ohio State, the second-ranked opponent they've played so far this year, and a service error from Ohio State, yet another one that continues to pile up. That's their 5th so far, or instead 4th of the night.
And really that's been the difference in this game so far, Andrew, is the service aces versus the service errors, and that's why USC is currently leading by 3.
Roberts a hard serve. Jasinski decides he wants to keep it in. Blanchette, close set. Zambrano can't get it to go. Pickering, a free ball across. Blanchette, long set. Here comes Foley, joust at the net. Pickering, a great job to keep it alive. Here comes Wetzel, off of the hands of Zambrano and Foley. Klein, one more time with Wetzel, sends it down the line. Dykstra digs it out of the earth. Here comes Roberts, the long hit. He gets the back line. The Trojans win the marathon point.
Absolute great rally there. Able from both sides to get some momentum, and then USC really able to just slam the door closed and get their 4-point lead back, Andrew.
Looks like did find the touch as well. Roberts, a hard serve. Dykstra gets it right back. Gives to Blanchette. Here comes Klein from the back row. And with Rodriguez for Pickering, just taps it over. A cheeky play.
A little bit of an okie doke there, but Pickering has been really good so far early in this game, as he had that amazing acrobatic save in the last rally, and now with a little bit of some trickery in this rally to get them the point.
2 kills on 3 swings so far. He watches as Aaron Grimm sends one across. Foley rejected at the net, gets it right back, and a net violation called.
Another error, another violation for the Buckeyes, which has once again allowed USC to extend this lead and allow them to now kind of have commanding control here as we get into the latter half of the set.
4 points, not necessarily as comfortable as you would like it if you're USC. Any run, and Ohio State's right back in. Klein goes off of one, finds the hands in front.
Really just overpowered the Buckeyes defense there. Not the best set, but still able to find the floor.
Kevin Birch calls another timeout, wants to talk things over, doesn't like that USC has risen to a 5-point lead over his Buckeyes. And as we take a look at the AVCA poll, both of these teams ranked, of course, a top 15 matchup as of right now. There's going to be a familiar opponent for Ohio State, sitting at number 1 in the UCLA Bruins. USC, of course, sitting at number 4, and Ohio State at number 13. Handful of teams in between there, obviously. USC going to go to BYU, their longest road trip, actually, of this entire season, up into Utah to play the Cougars later on this year. UC San Diego, obviously, always a great opponent as well.
And it was really impressive from the Buckeyes. As you saw, UCLA, the number 1 ranked team in the country. The Buckeyes able to keep pace there, especially early in the first 2 sets. They've really shown they can hang with anybody And they've shown early in this game, though it is a 5-point game, that they're able to still compete athletically with the Trojans. It's really been the errors and the violations that has separated these two teams. So being able to show that when you are 13 going against the 4th-ranked team in the country is a positive sign for Buckeye fans.
And of course, Patrick, how could I forget, here in the Galen Center announcing USC, they're playing UCLA here shortly, March 3rd, the crosstown showdown, of course, and then Trojans will head over to Pauley Pavilion on March 6th to play UCLA at their house. It's going to be fully descended across with a 5-point lead for USC. Close set and a cut hit from Salvatore. Finds the near line.
And that's a great way to respond. USC went on a run. Now the Buckeyes steady themselves out of the timeout. Really great coaching so far in this first set by Kevin Birch. Able to keep his team in it here as they're getting ready to serve and try to cut the lead to 3.
They did it last time as well out of the timeout. They were on a 3-0-1. Blanchette, long set for Klein, just taps it over, and the pancake can't get fast enough for Wetzel.
What an impressive play by Klein. Didn't use his power that he's so famous for, rather used his touch, found his way around the block, painted the corner, and forced the ball to go on the floor on the Buckeye side.
And it's always really impressive how versatile he truly is. You forget he's the #1 player in the nation, or what many consider the #1 player in the nation, certainly for a reason. Connell comes in, he's ready to serve for USC, takes out Zamprano. Didn't hit as well as he would have liked against Fort Valley State, -1,000. Back set, Wetzel slams it down.
Shane Wetzel's really had a good first set, got a service ace, has a few kills, able to keep his team in this game, really showing why he was your player to watch.
Yeah, 3 kills on 12 total attacks. Has certainly gotten the volume, that's for sure. This hasn't necessarily hit as he would have liked, but you're right. Points are points, Patrick. Pickering to bring it across. Blanchette finds Foley from the back row.
What a kill there from Foley. Able to really get his team now this 5-point lead as they close in on the 25-point mark. Able to really keep it steady and give the Trojans a chance to close it out here.
Wetzel sends one toward us, and it is out. USC another point. They're just inching toward it and is slowly slipping away from the Buckeyes here in set #1. Blanchette, floater across. Hard hit from Salvatore. Here comes Roberts. Smith, Blanchette to Klein. Great dig out from Hudson. Another marathon point. Dykstra to Klein. Tapped over Salvatore. Blanchette one more time. Here comes Roberts. Puts it into the chest of Wetzel, and he can't control it. The marathon point goes to USC yet again.
Bit of a tough stretch for Wetzel as we take another look at this. Hits him right in the chest, fall to the ground, has 2 dig attempts that don't go well, and then the attacking error.
Henwood Rodriguez sends it across on 2. A good point for Ohio State, but is it too late?
We'll see here. It's great, though, to continue to see their fight, continue to try to claw their way back into this game.
Jones ready to serve across. Trojan fans on their feet for set point here in set #1. 24-18, they lead by 6. Jones barely gets it across. Here's Blanchette, back set toward the antenna. Chasinski, a great foot save by Roberts. Dykstra the long run, but Chasinski rises and puts it down.
Great way to stay composed by the Buckeyes. A miraculous save, but then they were able to recover and get the point and capitalize on USC's disorganization.
So as soon as the point happened, Klein turns around, looks at Coach Nygaard, throws up a 4. He thinks it's 4 touches. a little bit of confusion as Coach Nygaard now goes up to Sterling Foley, who says, wait, wait, wait. But the challenge card was already given. So Coach Birch is 3-0 so far with challenges. Let's see what Coach Nygaard will be. It would be just prior to that moment on whether or not it was over in 4 or not. A little hard to tell from here. It's going to be a long look, we would assume, with the official having a lot to look at. As I look up at the Jumbotron, it's certainly close.
This a big call could end the set here, and we're going to see if any of the newer rules come into play with the touch rule at the net counting as a 0 touch. So we're going to see if maybe that is what they're looking at or if it's something else.
I think that's exactly what they're looking at, Patrick, as I'm peering over to my right. We might get a replay here shortly, but as of right now, USC would only be leading by 5, but it is set point. Trojan fans don't care. They're still on their feet, able to take a look now, exactly what you were saying, where Chasinski, and I think it would be that touch reel we're talking about.
No, if I'm not mistaken, it may have hit 21 on the back, which would have been a ricochet touch, giving them the 4. It's close, hard to tell from that angle, but that could be it, Andrew. That
would be Aaron Grimm that you're talking about. Came in, or has been in for quite a bit of time. Did get the start today. Has had 2 total attacks, but hasn't been able to finish anything just yet. So Coach Nygaard is 0 for 1. Ohio State gets the point, 24-19. Trojans still with a 5-point lead on set point. Only one more challenge for Coach Nygaard as Jones back to serve one more time.
Let's see if USC is going to be able to just capitalize on the little bit of the delay and get a good set going and a good rally going.
Dykstra. Blanchette gives to Klein. The joust in front, and it falls to the floor. USC takes set number 1.
Klein saying, doesn't matter whether or not the challenge was successful. Let's put our foot down and win this set.
So USC, the number 4 team in the nation, takes set number 1, 25-20 over the Ohio State Buckeyes. It was the Noah Roberts show early. 6 kills with 3 digs as well. There's the man. Look at him on.
Standout Trojan has been Noah Roberts in this first set. Only played in 13 matches as a sophomore. Has played already a ton of matches here for the Trojans early and has had a great impact.
Foley sends a missile into the net to start off set number 2. So we started off set number 1 with Ohio State with the service error, and USC returns the favor for set number 2. Both teams 4 service errors apiece. Here's Jones to bring it across. Klein. Wetzel free ball, and then they give it to USC. They call a double on Shane Wetzel, who has his hands up.
And good start here for both teams, each getting a point early, able to keep this back and forth in the second set, just like in the first set early on.
Zamprano, change up across, joust at the net. Henwood Rodriguez tried to go over in 2. And they hit from Chasinski off of the hands of Zamprano in the back.
Chasinski now has 7 kills on the game. Has been really good for the Buckeyes early here in this set and in this game so far through the first set and some change.
Daniel Henwood Rodriguez ready to bring it across. 48 assists last match less than 24 hours ago against UCLA. Can't find the back line. Another service error for the Buckeyes. And it's a number that continues to climb up. They're at 5 now in this match. Doesn't compare to the 18 that they had against UCLA last night. But got to remember, they were in a 50-minute set number 2. Henwood Rodriguez. Pickering from the back row, kept alive by USC. Here's Roberts. Henwood Rodriguez, back set Chasinski on the joust. And a miscommunication from Ohio State leads to a point from USC.
It was an absolute wall by the Trojans. First by Dylan Klein, then by the combo block to really stifle out the Buckeyes' attack.
Blanchette can't get it across. Trying to pull it on the near antenna. Henwood Rodriguez was pulled back toward the back line.
Service errors being a little bit more of an issue early here for the Trojans than it was in the first set. Let's see if that trend continues as we continue to wear on in this set.
Jasinski sends it toward the ceiling. Dykstra, a great dig. Henwood Rodriguez finds for Grimm. Smith says no, thank you.
Really great job there by Wesley Smith. Has been a really great presence in the middle of that USC front line. Taking another look, gets the solo block, celebrates after. Really great start for him in this game.
Third block of the night for him. Klein with the service error for USC. But how about it from Wes Smith? We talked with Coach Nygaard before the match, and he was saying he's one of those guys where if he's in the right spots and you put him in the right spot in the match, how can you stop him? Blanchette finds Smith, and there he is in the right spot.
Back-to-back great points for Wesley Smith. Able to start putting his imprint on this game more and more as the USC defense has really taken a step up here in this game. It's more been the offense that has been waning.
He has 4 kills on 5 swings and is back to serve. Change up across. And Rodriguez sends one directly toward Chasinski, and he powers it home. Tied up at 5, Ohio State battling in this second set.
It's great to see Ohio State just keep responding. USC will do something, then Ohio State will. So seeing that back and forth is great fight from the Buckeyes.
Wetzel, one of 2 captains on this team, brings it across. A mixture of Klein and Foley with the dig. Chasinski tries to go straight across, and the wall is put up, but the block comes toward us. Too far, a point for Ohio State. They have the lead here in this second set.
Ohio State now really trying to find some momentum, find some consistency, has the back-to-back points for the first time this set, and is really looking to put yet another stamp on this set.
And look at Wetzel, the ace. How about that? His 7th service ace on the year comes at a great time.
Quick 3-0 run here has really given Ohio State the momentum in this game, in this set, seeing if they can capitalize on this during this point.
Dykstra pulls one out of the earth one more time. Foley to bring it across. Bump set for Hudson, and Ohio State with another one. How about the run continues to roll? A 4-0 scoring run. They're up by 3 over USC, their largest lead so far of the day. There's Chasinski one more time. He's at 9 kills. But it's the service error.
It rears its ugly head again, just like it did during UCLA's match with them last night. Another service error, which allows USC to stay in the game without having to battle back as much.
6 service errors apiece. Roberts is back to serve. Sends top spin across. Pancake from Roberts. Dykstra pokes it across. Pickering with the right hand, partially blocked by USC, but not enough.
The Buckeyes really able to keep the momentum despite the service error, Pickering really getting into the middle in the teeth of that USC defense and the ball finding its way home.
Zamprano barely taps it across. Here's Chasinski. Dykstra comes out of nowhere and pulls it up. Here's Klein from the back row. Wetzel, and blocked by USC. Yet again, the combination Zamprano and Sterling Foley. What a night it's been for Foley.
Multiple blocks, multiple ability to affect this game. Sterling Foley really showing why he's one of the leaders on this team despite only being a sophomore.
Ranked 11th last year in the MPSF in hitting percentage and blocks per set. A long run for Henwood Rodriguez. Here comes Klein and finds hands, but also catches the back line. USC's brought it within one. Just like that, they go on their own mini run.
And the Buckeyes played really good defense there, Andrew, but Dylan Klein showing why he is a superstar, able to just disregard it and get the point anyway.
Foley for the third serve on this trip. It's a long run. Henwood Rodriguez under the net. Foley takes his time, finds Klein. Wetzel to pull it out. Chasinski just has to get it across. Klein jumps up and smacks it down. A little bit of finesse from Dylan Klein.
Dylan Klein showing the power on the last point, the finesse on this point, keeping the defense guessing. And as a defense, that's really hard to predict and thus cover when someone has that many different avenues to score.
Oh, you're right. We talked about the versatility of Klein. It just continues to shine. Henwood Rodriguez, Chasinski with some power and finds hands.
There we just saw the Buckeyes able to just overpower the defense of the Trojans. Wondering if not having as much height on the floor, Andrew, is really impacting their ability to get up and fully block these attacks.
Zamprano, the biggest guy out there right now at 6'7" for USC. Blanchette, a great knuckle punch back to Roberts, but he does have to get across. Henwood Rodriguez, long set. Here comes Roberts from the back row. Doesn't get enough height on it. Ohio State back up by 2.
That point there set up a lot of like Roberts' last few kills. But this one, he just seemed to be a little bit off, a beat off, not quite able to get all of the ball. It falls short of the net.
It's only the second attack error for USC so far this match. Salvatores can't get it across. Another service error, though, for Ohio State. They're up to 7 on the night, and USC's back within striking distance, only a point.
And I'm going to sound like I'm really beating a dead horse here, but again, once they get that momentum, the service error really kills it for them, and they're not quite able to take full control.
Jasinski, who has double-digit kills in this match, trying to get a little too cute with it, and USC's tied right back up.
It's the small things here, Andrew. Multiple violations outside of the service errors. They just got a little too cute, didn't get the ball across. Now it's back to a tie game.
Zamprano and knuckleball across. One more time, Chasinski this time. No mistake of it whatsoever. 11 kills now on 20 attempts. He's having a night for himself.
Really just an amazing start and a really solo effort here so far from him to keep the Buckeyes in this set and in this game by extension.
The same amount of kills as last night on 12 less attempts. And when Rodriguez, a missile across, able to get the service ace.
That's what we like to see if you're a Buckeyes fan. They're able to kind of turn it on its head a little bit, get a positive impact from the service line rather than a negative.
7 service aces so far this year for Henwood Rodriguez, his first of the night, and he's still back there. Launches it high up. This time a loft across. Klein with a roll to get it. Good pancake save from Hudson. Here comes Klein. and finesse yet again. Puts it onto the backside this time.
He went straight power from his 2 points ago to his last point, just finesse over the top. Now finesse across the net, really able to keep this USC attack afloat with all the different ways he's been scoring in the second set.
Just a great cross-court finish. Henwood Rodriguez sets close. Grimm is rejected. Another chance, though. This time Wetzel fully with a great Olay save. Here comes Klein with the right hand over the top. Another one for Dylan Klein. 7 kills on the night, and the power, a little bit of a smile.
Dylan Klein was all the way in the back, came flying in, timed his jump perfectly, and slammed the ball home through the teeth of the defense and found its place.
How about that from Foley, though? What a save to keep it going. Cross court set for Wetzel, and the crowd silent at the Galen Center. 14-13, Ohio State leads by 1. A timeout break. When the Buckeyes are USC, it's 15. Jasinski back to serve. Launches it high up, running start. Here he goes, puts it into the back of the net yet again. Frustration starting to accrue from this Ohio State crew. 8 service errors, and that's kind of been the difference so far, especially in that first set where they could have had it. Right now it's still tied up, though, 14-14. Timeout, next point. Here's Klein, just misses left. So 15-14, Ohio State leads by 1 over USC in set number 2. Number 13 team in the nation looking for a big upset over the number 4 Trojans. Henwood Rodriguez, he's been doing well, but Wesley Smith, what's there not to like so far this game from him? USC playing strong when we come back. 15-14 here in the second stanza, though USC up 1-0 as we take a look at the series history between these two programs. And since the Buckeyes currently leading 9-4 in the series history, but it does seem that USC overall is leading 20-9. The last meeting was last year, January 31st at Ohio State, but what you really have to look at is the last 10 matchups. Ohio State is leading 7-3 in the last 10 matchups. A sprint up from Grimm. First service after the timeout. Grimm tries to get it across, tapped over the top, and a point for USC. All tied up at 15 in the second set.
And you can see the defensive difference here for the Trojans with Wesley Smith on versus Wesley Smith off. Have a much more potent ability to block at the net. He is currently off, or rather serving, so let's see if he can continue his impact here.
A huge swing from Jasinski from the back row has the Buckeye bench on their feet. Ohio State leads by 1 in this second set. As Tyler Tharp will come in. Played 3 sets in the last match against UCLA. Only 9 sets so far this season. He is a great story we'll talk about in a second. Wetzel with the left hand across. A huge service ace for the Buckeyes, and momentum rolls their favor. We're talking. Go ahead, Patrick. What were you going to say?
Wetzel really able to bounce back there. First was having a good start to the game, then kind of hit a lull, had a few errors, a few mental mistakes, now has a couple of service aces, another kill, has really been able to pull himself back up and allow the Buckeyes to now have a 2-point lead in a lead in a second set, pretty deep into the second set, Andrew, which is really impressive against such a potent team like the Trojans.
And you're right, Wetzel's been playing real well. 3 service aces on the night so far for him. So Ohio State leads by 2, 17-15. Here in the second set, USC is leading 1-0 so far. Quickly on Tyler Tharp. You can see him just on the right side of the huddle. You forget sometimes in these day and age of college athletics that these athletes as well are students, and they're learning. They're starting to get better not only as athletes but as people too, and none other than Tharp is just a fantastic story of that. He volunteers with the homeless over the holidays and co-founded a Chicago summer camp as well. Native of Chicago, Illinois as well. Hopes to get his PhD in psychology of adolescence. Look at him there, and it's really just a cool story as well to see him out here playing today. 5 kills so far on this year. A 6'8" opposite hitter ready to go for Ohio State. Teams leading 17-15 over USC here in set number 2. Wetzel after the service ace. This time USC able to snuff it out. Multiple good digs in a row, but Ohio State's not able to get it to it in time. Hudson had the long run, able to get a hand on it, but not in the right direction.
Trojans out of the timeout, able to capitalize, able to shrink the deficit a little bit. And that's really been the story out of these timeouts and out of these challenges. It's been whoever has called the timeout or whoever has been down has been able to close the gap. Really shows a way for both these teams to regroup and able to keep this game close.
You're completely right. After each timeout, the team that calls the timeout wins the next point. Coach Nygaard a slow walk, mulling things over for USC. Jasinski, light tap across. Here comes Foley, but no, doesn't get enough height on it. Ohio State still in the driver's seat in set number 2, but we remember what happened against UCLA last night. A record-breaking 48-46 second set final score that went the wrong direction for the Buckeyes. I'm sure that's in at least a few players' minds right now, knowing that it's close against a similar team in USC. Owen Pickering ready to bring it across. The Ottawa, Ontario, Canada native. Heavy right hand is a little bit too heavy.
Service error yet again here. The Buckeyes looking to capture momentum, get multiple points, stack it, and then the service error killing them, not allowing them to be able to continue to build on their momentum.
9th service error of the night. Here comes Wetzel down the near antenna, but puts it into the USC bench. Point for USC, but it does look like Coach Birch wants to challenge yet again. They're saying maybe a touch at the net. Coach Birch is 3-0 on challenges so far today. Let's see if he can stay perfect. Another challenge here for Ohio State. And you might as well, you trust your players. You've had the luck of the dice so far on your side today.
Where you see these 50-50 calls can continue to go Ohio State's way. As we take another look here, trying to see down the line if it's in or out, slowing it down here.
Just out of our view. It wasn't a touch on Klein, though. That's the first thing that they initially probably should have looked at. And then the next question is, did it find that black line? And we just weren't necessarily able to tell. It's not a quick review necessarily, though. They are looking at it for quite a bit of time at multiple different angles. But it is a very important point. It's either tied up or Ohio State still has the lead, obviously, and moves to a 2-point lead.
And as we take another look here, not only is it a big call, it's, as you were saying, a really close call. Both USC people in the back line thought it was going to be out. It's really hard to tell from that angle, but it really does paint that corner. It's such a 50-50 call, Andrew. I don't know if there's going to be enough to overturn what was called on the floor.
I'll tell you what, Patrick, what didn't make it much easier for our official was the fact that they had all of USC's bench right behind us saying, oh yeah, definitely that was out, and it should be a point for USC. That doesn't make any call necessarily easier, but they're still taking another look at it. It is that back line.
And it's not only the bench, it's the fans here at Galen. Every time that the Buckeyes are up to serve, the fans get rowdy, get energized and into the game, and it has made the Buckeyes a little bit harder on them on the service line.
How about that? Kevin Birch looks like he might be pitching a shutout, and indeed he is. A little bit of fist bump next to his hand. He continues to stay strong. A 4-0 record right now for challenges in this match. Makes it 19-17. Ohio State leads by 2 over USC.
We're not even 2 sets in here, Andrew. 4 successful challenges, 4-0. That's the most amount of successful challenges I've seen in a while. I don't know about you. Really impressive piece of coaching there from the Ohio State's coaching staff and also the Ohio State players knowing the rules and being honest with themselves during these 50-50 calls.
It's a coach who trusts his players, that's for sure. Here comes Jones. Out of the successful challenge. Klein, the hard hit. A long run. Chasinski goes into the bench. And too many touches. Doesn't get it across.
Second point there recently where the Buckeyes defense has gone into the stands, has made the people in that front row have to move out of the way, showing the effort of this Buckeyes team.
Zambrano in the 1-point deficit for USC. Here comes Chasinski with the missile straight at Klein. Ohio State, the first team to hit 20 in this second set.
Nip and tuck game here so far, much like the UCLA-Ohio State game last night in this second set. UCLA won the first set a little bit more comfortably. Then Ohio State came back, was leading for most of that second set, even into extra points. So we're going to see here if history repeats itself or if Ohio State can finish off the second set.
Daniel Henwood Rodriguez, Puerto Rico. Oh, he was born in Puerto Rico, I should say. Klein with the touch across. Here comes Wetzel, a joust at the antenna, and antenna violation.
What a big wall to build there for the Trojans. Big point as well, Andrew. Keeping it a 1-point game, keeping it within striking distance, and allowing USC to not need to chase. I'd rather still just play their game and try to retake the lead.
Cooper Keene ready to come in, the freshman for USC. And a hard one across, and a great job from Grimm to tap it down.
Seems like as of recently, Andrew, it's the Buckeyes go up 2, the Trojans cut it back down to 1. We're going back and forth here, seeing if one team can get and stack multiple points in a row to either close out this set or extend it.
There's Chasinski, puts it into the chest of Foley. Klein, his 20th total attack so far tonight, nothing doing. Foley with the wild reception sends it backwards into the band.
You can see the frustration on Foley's face there on that attempted set. Didn't quite feel completely in control as Jeff Nygaard takes a timeout to try to reset his team.
And Coach Nygaard has talked quite a bit about his team. Foley not necessarily happy with himself on that reception, or I guess lack thereof, but he really describes it as the fact that they're competitive and have really high expectations for themselves. And that is super impressive. I think he understands that from his team. As we go down to McKenna Arteaga one more time. Here we go, McKenna. What do we got?
I appreciate it. Thanks. You know, we've seen a lot of tenacity from the Buckeyes, and really we've seen them find their stride here in this second set. Right now they're facing 4 ranked foes in a 5-match stretch right now. They were able to beat out number 20 George Mason earlier this month, lost to Long Beach State, ranked number 2. They were able to give Long Beach State their first set loss of the season so far. obviously, as we've talked about earlier, lost to UCLA, but have been putting up a fight in this second set against number 4 ranked USC. When speaking to head coach Kevin Birch about it, he said that he believes this 4-ranked matchup stretch really creates more belief in the team, builds sustainable confidence, and really gives the team the start that he wants to see them be able to take these wins and finish strong. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, McKenna. So a 3-point lead for Ohio State, 22-19 in this second set. They had a marathon second set yesterday against UCLA that lasted 51 minutes. They'd love to finish it out and even things up here at the Galen Center right now. Jasinski gets the service ace out of the timeout.
And he's been on fire, Andrew. As we take another look here, has multiple service aces, gets another here. Just absolute power, able to get just in between the backline defenders for USC and start to stack points here for the Buckeyes.
A 3-0 scoring run, and they don't want to stop. Blanchette, close set for Roberts. Klein goes up off of the foot of Smith and puts it down.
Great job there for the Trojans. That was almost a do-or-die point. They seemed frustrated. They seemed like the game was slipping away, or rather the set was slipping away. Able to steady just a little bit, and now, although they have a hill to climb, they can still come back in this set.
Brad Pan hops in for USC. And at the net front, it didn't look like Grimm got enough on it. So USC draws within 3. Or instead 4, 24-20 here in set 2. Trojans are up though 1-0. Set point, Ohio State. We're gonna get it done. Here comes Grimm. For Foley, off of the hand, straight into the bench of Ohio State. And a great point for USC to keep themselves alive.
When USC has been able to stay within system, they've been able to really get some powerful attacks going. However, the Buckeyes have done a really good job in the first 2 sets here of keeping USC on its toes, keeping them out of system, and allowing them to get balls that are retrievable.
Connell back to serve. 2 service aces in the last match against Fort Valley. Doesn't get one this time, and a huge right hand comes down from the freshman, Brady Jones. Set number 2 goes to Ohio State, 25-21. How about that, Patrick? Evened up 1 set apiece, Ohio State and USC.
And it's a great response from the Buckeyes. They go down in the first set, feels like they were slipping a bit, and then they're able to recover fast.
So in a moment, we will send things over to McKenna Arteaga and Coach Jeff Nygaard. What do we got today? What is a brutal stretch of games, facing 4 ranked foes in a 5-match stretch. Everyone's ready for set number 3, 1 set apiece. Wetzel ready to start us off. Blanchette, far side Klein, and the first point to USC.
Dylan Klein able to start this set off right for the Trojans, the leader on this team, the superstar, saying, I got us, let's just play through me and get this set lead in the 3rd set.
ABCA All-American first team last year, and you can tell why. As Jasinski finds a boatload of hands that fires into the crowd. We're at 1 apiece.
A little bit of a lack of control there from the Trojans, unable to keep it in despite stifling the attack, making another point for the Buckeyes.
14th kill of the night for the Polish player as a huge hit comes in from Foley. He says, come on, let's go.
Whenever the Trojans have been able to get past the front line, they've been delivering really powerful attacks that even if Ohio State's able to get under it, a lot of them are sent left or right outside of the court.
Good serve from Klein. And a great hit from Jones.
What a great job painting the corner there. Not necessarily the most powerful hit, but a great show of accuracy and finesse. Just paints the inside there of that back line, able to sneak it past Klein.
Klein sitting on his wallet, able to get up and sends it across. Jasinski halfway deflected. Here comes Klein. Back set toward Wetzel, and yet again, Wesley Smith and Sterling Foley. You can't get away from the 6'11" middle.
As we take another look here, they just build the wall together. No place for Wetzel to go. Hits it straight into him. The ball just ricochets back towards him.
Silence in the Galen Center as Smith a knuckleball across. Long run for Henwood Rodriguez. Does get to it. And Jasinski yanks it down the line. But I've said this before, Ohio State's going to want to challenge it. Their 5th challenge so far of the night. They're pitching a shutout so far. We'll see if that continues.
Soon as that point ended, Andrews, Henwood Rodriguez looked at his coach, said, challenge this. I think this is our point. Again, listening to his players, as you said, see if it pays off once again.
We'll see whether it goes to USC or it does go over to Ohio State. There's been 5 challenges so far, 4 from Ohio State, 1 from USC. Trojans are 0 whereas Ohio State is 4 for 4, but they're on the 5th right now.
And some of these challenges, Andrew, have been really big challenges. The one in the second set for the Buckeyes was a tied game, then went up 2 points instead because the challenge was successful, which allowed them to really take control of the game, take control of the set, and tie up this matchup here and to keep the upset alive.
It'll be a great win. Another long look at this. And that's been basically every single challenge so far today. It's been a close one, as able to take a look at the replay. It's hard to tell from that angle whether the swing just came off hard left or was deflected immediately.
Yeah, Andrew, it's really hard, especially with how hard that ball was hit. It was just, the trajectory seemed relatively the same. Can't really tell the spin from that angle. I don't envy the referees on this one.
How about one more look? From that angle, it looks like he just pulled it hard. He just tugged it a little bit. It's just so hard.
Despite the result of this challenge, what a wall there. Gave no opportunity to see the court really. Made him blindly guess where that line was, making that a really hard kill attempt.
And they will see some of the fans that have come out here at the Galen Center. Everyone here to have fun. Hey, there's Crash Lit. There he is. The ultimate Trojan fan still in the building as always. Cheering on their Trojans, who are their 5th match so far this year, looking to stay perfect. They're going to play 16 home matches in 2026. And they'll play in SoCal for all but 2 regular season matchups. That means all the fans can come out and watch USC. Their only matchups that aren't in SoCal are against BYU, and they play them twice. So it does look like Ohio State, the luck's run out. USC, the point stands. They get the point.
Super interesting there to see that really long replay, Andrew. And I don't necessarily know if they saw anything conclusive showing whether or not that ball was touched by the Trojans, but I don't think there was enough evidence to overturn what was called on the floor.
I think you're exactly right. Just not enough evidence. Every look that we had, it was just so hard to tell. Great job from our replay operator today and get all of those great looks for us. Both teams slowly waiting, getting ready to go. Smith awaits the service. He gets the volleyball now to restart things. Trojans doubled up Ohio State. Still a small sample size, though, in this third set, 4-2. Reception Hudson, Chasinski. High one from West. Noah Roberts puts it across, a free one. Oh, a great job from Henwood Rodriguez to poke it across. Another chance. Henwood Rodriguez back set for Wetzel, just out of the range of Roberts. Initially touched in front of the net, but Roberts couldn't get to it.
USC kept making defensive play after defensive play, but they couldn't get reset, stayed out of system, and the Buckeyes just kept attacking, and they were able to eventually break through the defensive line and score while in system.
Henwood Rodriguez, top spin, sends Klein all the way reeling backwards. Good chance for Ohio State here. Pickering, Jasinski, and USC builds the combo block.
That was not one, not two, but three Trojan defenders there, making the Buckeyes' job as hard as possible. Really tough if you're a frontline player to see past that wall. And that time it results in a Trojan block and a Trojan point.
Another good one from Roberts. Here comes Wetzel and puts it down cross court.
Great job finding that little stretch of court there. Painted inside the lines, got it past and through the defense, and able to kind of pull back into this game a little bit after a little bit of a shaky start after the challenge.
Wetzel finally evens himself out. Gets himself out of the red after 8 kills and 8 errors. Great pancake save from Hudson at the net. Long run for Roberts. Blanchette, free ball across. Henwood Rodriguez finding Jasinski from the back row, and another point for Ohio State.
And it's that three-player wall rather, but that time it just didn't matter. Jasinski able to just find his way through it, get the ball through in the court, and the ball finds the court. And it's really been an impressive game from him.
Jasinski, though, doesn't get the service across. Has been a while since the last service error from Ohio State, but finally they're in double digits. Their 10th service error on the night. So here's Foley once more. AVCA All-American honorable mention last year. MPSF All-Freshman team as well. And a great rise from Grimm. Ohio State, they're starting to roll a little bit. You can see the momentum's in their favor, though both of these teams tied up.
Keeps it in system, just rises up. The Trojans not able to quite build that wall on that point, and relatively easy point for Grimm.
Grimm hitting .512 on the season as Roberts finds the left shoulder of Grimm.
And that was a laser beam, Andrew. Heat-seeking missile almost, just goes straight for the shoulder, goes right out. No Buckeye defender in the path on the front line to slow the ball down. Destined to go out of the bounds on the Buckeye side.
8th kill of the night for Roberts. 3 digs to his name as well as 2 blocks. And Zamprano, not enough on it. Leaves it short. We're tied up at 7.
We're going to see here, as you said, relatively clean game in the interim in terms of service aces as we were closing out that second set and beginning the third, but now a pair here, one for each team.
Dykstra brings it up. Ball decline on the far antenna, but misses outside right. Just a little bit outside. Ohio State gets back to a lead.
And it was a good attack opportunity, just not quite able to find that open stretch of court there that was just inside the line.
Here comes Wetzel, the southpaw, gets another ace. Off the hands of Dykstra and a little bit of frustration. Coach Nygaard calls a timeout after the 6th service ace of the day from Ohio State. So Ohio State leads 9-7 over USC in this third set. One set apiece. It's a good one here on Big Ten Plus in the Galen Center. State leads in set number 3 by 2 over USC. One set apiece as we look toward some schedules in the upcoming future for both teams. First for Ohio State, they're going to play on February 5th at Northern Kentucky before they go to Central State, or play at home against Central State, and then go to Queens University. USC, on the other hand, has quite a bit of time in front of them before they'll start conference play. That's in March, but they do have a home and home against UC Irvine in the future as well. Pan digs it out. And an acrobatic save from Klein. Smith diving as well, tries to get it across. And out of the timeout, USC can't find the point. Ohio State to a 3-point lead here in set number 3. And it's a 3-0 scoring run as well.
And even when the Buckeyes aren't getting kills, their ability to get quality attacks has kept USC on its toes and forced attacking errors like that.
Blanchette, long set to the backside for Klein, pins it against the hands and gets the point for USC.
Klein has really been able to steady this team every time it feels like Ohio State is going on a run. Klein has gotten a timely point. It wasn't quite enough in the second set. We'll see if it's enough here in the third.
Blanchette, a floater across. Henwood Rodriguez puts it on a tee for Jones.
And it's a great attacking prowess there. Really just trying to find not necessarily the court, but just an angle to get the ball past the block and not get rejected, and just hope the ball goes out from there.
Roberts, a long set toward his brother in Klein, who rises and brings it down.
And Klein has been very consistent, continuing to rack up kills at a consistent rate. As we take another look here, just goes around the block with power and speed and finds the court.
Move quickly from dig to trans as you see Sterling Foley put it down for a point for USC. So seeing if you move quickly from dig into that transition to the attack, there's not much that Ohio State can really do if you're in the right spots for USC. Klein once again, the best server for this USC team as of so far. Henwood Rodriguez over in 2. Dunks it down.
We saw Sterling Foley do that last point. Now Henwood Rodriguez does it this point. As we take another look here, just looks like he's going to set it, pushes it back down, really giving the Buckeyes another dimension to the offense here in this third set.
Here comes Smith, and he gets another one. Maybe didn't get all of it, but did get the point.
And once they're able to get past that front line, Andrew, they've really gotten the Buckeyes to scramble a bit more. But Ohio State has done a really good job of forcing really tough attacks and forcing them to not necessarily get the most high-quality attacks. And the front line has been deflecting a lot of balls here early.
Smith, a deep breath, brings it across. Wetzel rejected at the net front, and they give him the point. Off of the hands of USC and out. 13-11, Ohio State leads by 2 in set number 3. One set apiece. Ohio State looking for a big upset over USC. Henwood Rodriguez, a hard serve across. Looked like Foley able to get there. Off of the hands of Pan, though, and up goes Wetzel. Down goes the volleyball. So we send things over to McKenna Arteaga.
I mean, thanks, Andrew. This Ohio State offense is absolutely humming, but there's a special player I really want to point out. and that has to be Drew Hudson. Following a team vote, Hudson was named co-captain with Wetzel for the 2026 season. He is the first sophomore to earn captain honors in history of the program. He is in that red libero kit right there in the middle, 6'2" from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And really, he has sports in his blood. Not only is he such a strong player for Ohio State, back in high school, he lettered 4 times in basketball at South Warren, earned all district and all region honors, and even led the region in free throw percentage. So an all-around player. His mother plays volleyball. His father is a head coach at Western Kentucky University's women's volleyball program. And his head coach said that he absolutely earned that position. His team voted for it, and all the guys respect him. He really leads early and is steady, communicates well, and really, his head coach called him a sophomore in a senior's body. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, McKenna. Just great insight right there. Noah Roberts gets another ace for USC. He's back to serve again. Almost gets another one as well. Henwood Rodriguez sets close for Wetzel off of the hands of, it looked like Cooper Keene. And it'll be a point for Ohio State. Going quickly back to Drew Hudson. Forgot the part, he owns the high school record for 3-pointers as well, but if you look at that free throw percentage, leading the lead in that, I'll tell you, if you don't know basketball, it's all discipline, the free throws. And that's why he's so good here for the Buckeyes as well in volleyball. Jasinski with the 2-point lead for the Buckeyes. Well, hitting the point for USC. A little bit of a different look for this Trojans squad. Pan in there, as well as Andrew Chapin. The 6'4" setter as Blanchette comes out. Cooper Keene, the freshman, in as well. There's Foley into the service error.
Multiple service errors there for Foley, and each time he has another one, he seems to get a little bit more frustrated, and a lot of the Trojans here seem to be frustrating. The emotions getting the best of them. Let's see how Jeff Nygaard tends to manage that as we move through later into this game.
Finds Keene and gets the kill. His 3rd kill so far this year. Didn't play last match for USC, but really cool. I talked with Coach Nygaard. He said Cooper Keene is the only person that he's recruited on sound alone. Talk about that more in just a second. Zamprano with the service. Wetzel tries to go down the near side, but just outside. Going back to Keene, when Coach Nygaard was at a tournament, he was walking around and heard Keene hit a ball. And he turned around and said, "Who was that?" That's how he first found Keene. Great job by Keene to try to get it across. And launches it up in the air afterwards in a little bit of frustration.
Great effort there by the Trojans. Both teams really putting their bodies on the line. This game being back and forth, there's been no shortage of effort, and it's been the smaller stuff that has been the separator, but you can't say either of these teams don't have heart.
Wetzel one more time, 11 kills on the night. And a point will go to Ohio State. Coach Nygaard immediately is thinking challenge and grabs the card. How about challenge number 7 on the day?
See here, Dylan Klein also talking to the referee, pleading his case as the officials are huddling up before deciding to go to the replay monitor here. As we take another look, he goes up. Are they saying who touches it last between the Trojans and the Buckeyes? Hard to tell from that angle, Andrew. What do you think?
Yeah, it might just be the joust that they're looking at. It's close. Obviously, Klein trying to just rip it off of the hands of Tharp. The officials may be talking it over, possibly to say, Coach Nygaard, no, don't challenge, and they might just overturn it themselves.
Another really great angle there from a replay operator, Matthew. It's really hard to tell. Again, you can see some movement there on the fingertips, but you can't see from the front side whether or not Klein still has his hand on the ball.
So there's our official talking with Coach Nygaard. Robin Burton down there says it was tipped off last of Ohio State, so it does look like the point will go to USC.
You can see there the USC bench celebrating as they looked up at the Jumbotron to see the replay, see the reaction from Ohio State immediately after the point, as they really do seem to believe that they have gotten this here, Andrew.
It's an Ohio State team that took set number 2 against USC. Only the second set they've lost this entire season so far. Played in 13 total, have won 12.
Multiple players now from Ohio State talking to the refs, trying to get an update, see what's happening. Not quite sure what they're deciding here. Continuing to talk to the players and the people down here near us, Andrew, the replay operator for their replay system, deciding whether or not to overturn this call.
There's a chance, if I possibly heard correctly, Ohio State might be challenging now. So hard to see. It's the question, did Tyler Tharp touch it last, or did Dylan Klein touch it last? It was a very quick review.
And it's really been a back and forth review. Went to talk to the refs, went to talk to the replay operator, now really seeing when they're going to make their decision.
You're right, it was a back and forth review. It's gone back and forth a few times. They're going to go with the original call and give it to Ohio State. The Buckeyes are fired up. USC, hands on their face, but they've still got a third set of volleyball to play, down by 3.
And really, like, these challenges have been
huge,
amazing too, from both sides. Really close, really making the referees work on all these 50-50 calls. I do not want to be one of them right now, especially with all the different voices they hear in their head.
No, but I think they've gotten all right so far. At least the calls. Here comes Wetzel. Dug out by Pan. Klein finds hands in front. Kenwood Rodriguez. Back to Wetzel off of the hand last of Chapin.
And yet again, able to just get around the wall that USC presents at the net. Find a quality attack despite the staunch defense. As we see another timeout here by Jeff Nygaard, really trying to center his team, find a way for them to come back in this set so they don't go down 2-1.
19-16, Ohio State leads by 3 over USC on a 3-0 scoring run. And you're looking across the board at Jasinski and Wetzel. Both of them are combining for 27 kills, 15 for Jasinski and 12 for Wetzel. But taking a look at some of the game stats so far, Ohio State leads in kills by a slim margin, but again, it's the blocks. That's really what you got to look at for USC, what they've been doing well. Ohio State on the other side, 7 aces so far in this match, over double what they had last night against UCLA.
And it's been really impressive to see not only Ohio State able to capitalize and get a couple more kills than their Trojans, they've also been able to get more attack opportunities because they've been relentless defensively and offensively to make sure that the Trojans don't get quality attempts on their side and keep them out of system.
You look at some of those blocks, 8.5 for USC. Coach Nygaard talked about how USC has the ability to dominate at the net. And he knows that they can be the best team in the nation inside out if they want to be. So after Coach Nygaard is timeout, it'll be Ohio State to serve. They're on a 3-0 scoring run and currently up by 3. Almost home in this third set. Here comes Wetzel to restart us. Chapin sets for Smith, and he just taps it across. Only needed one finger to just poke it across.
Trojans able to cut down on this lead, able to use a rare Ohio State misstep on the attacking end to come back with an attack of their own, a quick attack, catch Ohio State off guard during that last point.
Here comes Keene, the freshman. And at the net, Wesley Smith says no one more time. His 6th block of the night. Have yourself a day, Wes.
As we take another look here, what a job just being that middle blocker for the Trojans, rising up on his own, shutting off all possible attack angles, and sending that ball straight back to the Buckeye side.
I talked with Coach Nygaard before the first game of the season against St. Thomas Aquinas. Asked, how much does it mean that Wesley Smith's back? He said, how much time do you have? That's how much he means. As Keene, the long reception toward Klein, hits the chair official on the far side.
And a little bit of an attacking out of system error and misstep for the Trojans, not allowing them to get what was a relatively clean receive and generate points off of it.
All starters back in for USC. Dykstra wearing the black kit for the libero. Klein with the first touch. Blanchette back to Klein, sent back by Chasinski. This time it's Smith. Henwood Rodriguez tries to go across in 2, doesn't work out. Klein rejected by Henwood Rodriguez. Back set for Roberts, not enough height on it. Ohio State this time takes the marathon point.
A yellow card was issued there on that point, after the point rather. Not exactly sure who it was on though, Andrew.
Well, they're talking with Klein, but the official's pointing to someone else.
Not exactly sure there who it was on. Referee giving no further indication to us, but whether or not that could be a big shift later in this game.
It was scored to Roberts. Roberts with the hit, a long run to the other side. Henwood Rodriguez sliding in the backcourt of USC, but it doesn't matter. Point for the Trojans.
And just as with the second set, Andrew, the third one, as we drew closer, it's really tight here. Let's see if the Trojans are able to fully come back, unlike what they were able to do in the second set.
Coming down to the wire in set number 3, Roberts just found kill number 9 on the night. Henwood Rodriguez, Chasinski off the top of the hands. Dykstra Blanchette, here comes Klein from the back row, and a big stuff. There's Brady Jones, and how about Henwood Rodriguez as well?
What a great combo block there, Andrew. Not this time.
Jones doubled his block total this season, only had 1 before. There's a solo one for him now. Foley though with the attack, and Foley with the kill. Keeping it within 2, USC staying in striking distance.
We're going to see here if this substitution will be a good thing for the Trojans or not prove to be as fruitful as they try to climb back into this matchup.
It's a serving sub. It's going to be Connell. 2 aces in his last match. Didn't hit as well as he would have liked, but man, did he serve the ball well on a service error there. And an untimely one at that. Ohio State now up by 3, nearing closer to that mark for set number 3.
It was a massive just point moment in this game. Let's see if the Buckeyes are going to be able to capitalize with a serve of their own, see if they can get it in play.
10th service error of the night for USC. Bad time to hit the double-digit mark of that. Here comes Henwood Rodriguez, sails it beyond the line. So teams trade off on service errors.
A little bit too much mustard there, Andrew. Sent it long, made for yet another service error, back-to-back service error, which gives USC some life again.
Roberts, with the silence in the game left center, only screams to the Buckeyes on the other side. Jasinski, a long run for it, but doesn't find the back line, just a little bit off. Then USC is back in it. Kevin Birch has seen enough. He calls a timeout. He has one more left for this third set. Has to use it wisely.
And when we look back, Andrew, we're going to see whether or not that pair of service errors is going to be the difference here. It felt like in the arena, you could hear the fans. They were really quiet, really nervous, a nervous energy here after that service error. Felt like for the first time that the Trojans fans really felt like the Trojans could lose this game. And then the service error on the other side brought the Trojans back. Trojans didn't score again. The fans are more back into it. The Trojans seem to have a little bit of momentum on their side. Let's see if they're able to capitalize after this timeout and come back in the set to take the 2-1 lead.
You're able to see all of the coaches for USC momentarily ago coming together, finding out, well, what do we really have to do when set number 4 comes, whether they win this set or not. Coach Nygaard, as well as assistant coach Rory Prager, assistant coach Gary Sato, and assistant coach Paul Martinez, all mulling things over for USC. Players in their own huddle. And Coach Nygaard talked about the leaders on this team, and it's everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior. The leaders on this team, and there's a lot of them, he said, are the guys that says what's up. Whether you're winning or you're losing, whether you're up or you're down, those are the leaders. And he said almost every person on this squad is at that point. So Roberts and USC down by 1 to Ohio State, looking for an upset victory over USC, and Roberts sails it over the top. Service error number 11 for USC. And Ohio State is at set point for set number 3. Here's Jasinski, Blanchette, Roberts. One more time, Blanchette, this time fully blocked off of the hands of Grimm. And it'll be a point for USC.
And honestly, what a great play there, Andrew. Bit of a stay of execution as the Trojans look to push this to extra points in the third set.
And with Rodriguez, Grimm tries to just tap it across. One more time, Grimm fully keeps it alive, and a good one at that. Klein rises up, and Klein puts down the hammer. The roof comes off the place. It's tied up at 24 in set 3.
And Sterling Foley, what a dig to save the set. He got fully on the ground, then the set to Dylan Klein. Dylan Klein with the amazing kill to keep the Trojans in this game and to force extra points.
One of 13 of them on the night. How has he been special during his time at USC, a senior? It's going to be hard to see him go if you're Trojan fans, but man, has he always been solid. We talked about having one timeout left. Kevin Birch now has 0 in his pockets. He used his final one and had a good time. Wants to talk things over. Tied up at 24 in set number 3. And if you're Ohio State, you've got to be thinking, oh no, not this again. In set number 2 last night, they went from a record-breaking 48-46, set number 2. Didn't finish it though. They were on the wrong side of a marathon and a half, an ultra marathon if you were to call it, set number 2 that lasted just about 51 minutes.
And Andrew, this is when you test your mental of your team. Are you able to bounce back? Do you let the flashbacks of what happened last night seep into this moment? Or are you able to coach that out? Are your players mentally tough enough to rebound, to respond, and to finish this set and really take a commanding presence here in this game?
You are completely right. It is all about mental toughness. 24-24, set number 3. Ohio State and USC each have 1 set apiece. Fully a deep breath, and here we go. Wood Rodriguez, Wetzel will put Ohio State up by 1. Off the hands last, the Trojan at the net.
There, the block good from the Trojans, but kind of angled the ball outside and towards the line, not able to get the ball back into play off the block.
Here comes Grimm. Set point, off the hands left, ball goes toward the scorer table and out of range of all the Buckeyes.
Here we go, Andrew, back and forth. One team scores, the other responds. Let's see how much farther they're going to be able to push this.
You know what it is? If you're either team here, you got to smile and say, let's play. This is what they've worked for their whole life. And there goes a huge kill from Pickering.
Sterling Foley not quite able to get underneath that ball on that attack from the Buckeyes. Allows them to put them in set winning position here, 26-25.
Set point once again. Shane Wetzel back there, one of the captains on this team. Left hand, did Dykstra get it? Foley got it with his foot, but it doesn't matter. Klein soars it too far. Set number 3 goes to Ohio State. 2-1. Ohio State leads over USC.
And it's been really impressive to see Ohio State able to bounce back after losing the lead late in the set.
So Ohio State takes set number 3, 27-25. Buckeyes a comeback. Coming into this match, they'd only lost one set as a whole, and they've lost 2 sets today. But it's the best matchup they've seen so far and the highest ranked team in the Buckeyes.
And we've talked a lot about the mental state and the mental toughness of the Buckeyes. Now we need to talk about the mental toughness that it's going to take to come back here. You get punched in the mouth. You're down 2-1, your first real competition of the season. How do you respond? Do you come back? Do you come out hot here in this 4th set? Or are you going to let the Buckeyes complete the upset here in set number 4?
Tell you what, if I know this USC team, they're going to come out swinging in set number 4 early. Here's Blanchette to start number 4 and leaves it short. Another service error. 3 out of the 4 sets started with a service error so far today. Here comes Wetzel. Roberts with a hard swing, dug out by Hudson. He runs away. Pickering just taps it over Smith with the response, brings it across, and a point for USC.
Bit of change of pace there from Smith. Usually a power hitter there, uses the finesse, his height to see over the defense, find the hole, and get the ball to the court on Ohio State's side.
He knows what he has to do to get it done, hitting 58% right now for USC. Klein touches the top of the net on the serve. Long run for Hudson. He gets to it. Free ball across, here comes USC. Klein with the set, Foley with top spin across. Good job Blanchette to keep things alive. Dykstra for Roberts, and another marathon point. Wetzel off the knuckles of Blanchette. Roberts another free ball. Henwood Rodriguez goes across in one. Here's Roberts with the joust. Ohio State with a chance. Back set Wetzel. Blanchette digs it out of the earth. Here comes Roberts, another swing and too long. Ohio State, a huge point victory, which seems like it could mean a lot. One of those marathon points, you don't know how much it does for momentum, but you know it's gonna do something.
And it feels like here, all the momentum points, most of the 50-50 balls, most of the hustle plays are going Ohio State's side, and that feels like the difference here so far.
Great dig out by Dykstra, keeping things alive for USC. Roberts rises, and a great block, a combination of Jasinski as well as Brady Jones. How about the freshman Jones today?
Really looking there as we take another crack at this. The wall making it nearly impossible for Roberts to find a place, and can't quite there on that hit.
And then Smith the response shortly after. Talk about playing quick. That's exactly it from USC.
And it's going to be interesting here, as McKenna talked about at the beginning of the set. Ohio State likes to play a lot faster than USC. So is USC going to try to match that pace, or are they going to try to slow down the game and force Ohio State to play their type of volleyball?
Smith a loft serve across. Foley. The libero Hudson puts it up for Jasinski. Another close call. They're going to say it was a touch of the net from USC and a point for Ohio State. Coach Nygaard doesn't even think about going for the challenge card, and Ohio State's up by 2.
What a great job yet again by the Buckeyes, not necessarily finding a hole through the block, but finding a way to get a point despite that.
Service error on the Buckeyes. Another one in a list that continues to grow for both of these teams. They each have 12 apiece.
You see here if the Trojans are able to capitalize on the service error and tie the game back up.
It's the first time that they've ever been down so far this year set-wise. Jasinski with a hard swing on the far side off of the forearm of Klein. Buckeyes keep on rolling. And it's really interesting, Patrick, because it's really the first adversity the Trojans have faced this entire year. Sure, if you're playing well at the beginning, that's great, but you start playing those top-ranked teams, you head toward conference season, that's when things really get tough.
It's so true, Andrew. And also, if you're the Buckeyes, what a way to be challenged early. 3 top 5 ranked teams in your first 7 games. What a way to respond as well to this level of competition.
2 huge digs from a Hudson. Error at the net. Wetzel can't get it across, but how about that from Drew Hudson? 2 massive digs on 2 booming strikes from USC, but the point goes to the Trojans either way.
He's really showing why he's the team captain, the ability to locate and dig out these powerful attacks, and his hustle and his heart of being at the center of this defense for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Foley well too low on the serve. We're talking about Hudson. Let's go right back to him. Second in the MIVA in digs per set. Just over 2 1/3. Really impressive stuff from the youngster. Jasinski launches it high in the air, can't get it across. The teams trade service errors.
Feels like when they come, Andrew, they come in bunches. We'll go stretch without any service errors or just a couple, and then they'll start stacking quickly for both teams.
Here's Zamprano. UCLA transfer, and Klein with the big block in front. A solo block for DK. He's up to 5 on the night now.
Dylan Klein doing a great job there. Once again, making a superstar play to tie it up for the Trojans.
Japano once again. Shinsky wildly gets to it. Long range set to the backside. One more time. Here comes Pickering. And it floats across, and Klein can't find it.
Once again, the Trojans set that block up, but the Buckeyes able to just get around it, hit it in an awkward angle, and allow the ball to get in an inopportune spot for the Trojans.
And another service error. It's an issue for both of these teams. It continues to happen over and over. Coach Birch, as Aaron Grime walks out, says it's okay, come on, we got it. All tied up at 7 in set number 4. USC down for the first time set-wise so far this season. Wetzel blocked, but a great job from Jones to keep going. USC started to celebrate, and they realized, oh, Ohio State kept it up.
Once again, as we take another look here, Ohio State just showing an ability to not quit, locating the ball, hustling to it, winning the 50-50 plays, stealing a point from USC.
Dykstra to pull it up. Here comes Roberts, slams it off of the hands of the backside of Hudson.
Hudson a bit fired up there, Andrew. Felt like he should have dug that one up, not quite able to get under it, which really shows his commitment to being able to get to all of these different spots on the court.
Here comes Klein, a missile across too long, another service error on USC. So if you're the Trojans and Coach Nygaard, you want your team to be aggressive and put a lot of pressure on these serves, but you only have 3 aces and a handful of service errors now. Blanchette back set for Roberts. Henwood Gonzalez for the Buckeyes. A huge ring from Wetzel, but Foley puts up the wall. Another solo block for him.
Sterling Foley doing a really good job of just erasing that lane to attack from. Looked open, then he comes flying in at the last moment, squandering that opportunity.
Smith with it all knotted up at 9. Around the antenna. Chizinski, which was backed into the chairs, didn't have much to do.
Despite the attacking arrow, what a play by Hudson to keep it within striking difference for the attackers on the Ohio State Buckeye side.
Here comes Smith once again. Pickering backs at Wetzel. Great job to keep it alive. Smith. Klein, a long range reception. Foley taps it across. Tapped over a few times. Jones free ball. Here comes USC. Long set. Foley! Coach Nygaard with a fist pump. USC up by 2 in set number 4.
Sterling Foley really putting his fingerprints way over this game as we take another look at that point. Him hyped up after, as the Trojans now have a 2-point lead here in the midpoint of the 4th set.
8 kills, 4 total blocks for him. Henwood Rodriguez. Halfway deflected. USC. Roberts fully deflected. Jasinski climbs the ladder and puts it back down.
What a game from Jasinski. It feels like he has really been who the Buckeyes have been playing through for large stretches of this game, and he has delivered, Andrew.
Hitting .324, just tallied his 3rd total block, 4 digs as well, a service ace, or hasn't he shined on the court? There's a good swing from Zamprano, and he gets his 4th kill of the night. Puts USC back up by 2. UCLA transfer doing good things for USC. 2nd in hitting percentage in the MPSF at .640, continues to swing well. Hudson calls everyone off. Jasinski finds the open court. All of USC up at the net front. Only Klein back there to try to figure things out and wasn't fast enough.
Just able to get it around that front line, find the open space, get the ball on the ground for another point, allowing the Buckeyes to stay in this game with USC.
A long-range serve from Henwood Rodriguez continues to fly. And service error number 15 for the Buckeyes. Reaching a similar number to what happened last night against UCLA. They had 18 service errors. Here's Foley with USC up by 2. Down by 1 set though. Blanchette back set. Here comes Roberts. Henwood Rodriguez to dig it out. Pickering decides to set. Now it's Jasinski, sails one way long.
What a job there by the Trojans. Able to set the wall up, force the ball to go over their outstretched hands, which allowed them to get the point off the attacking error.
Foley well low.
Another service error there, Andrew, which really killed the momentum for USC that time in that scoring run and in their previous scoring run earlier in this set.
15 service errors for USC, 5 of them on Foley. Jasinski, the missile. Dykstra, a great dive save. Here's Klein off of the hands in front and gets the point for USC. 15-12, Trojans lead by 3 in set number 4. So USC, their first little bit of adversity this season, the first time that they've been down set-wise so far this season. What will they do when we come back on Big Ten Plus? 15-12, USC leads by 3 over Ohio State in set number 4. The Buckeyes leading, though, 2-1 as we take a look at some of the players that have stood out so far today. Caleb Blanchette, 14 digs next to his name. Equally as impressive, though, 32 assists. He's got a double-double next to his name. Jasinski, 18 kills as well. Henwood Rodriguez having a great night for himself. He has 36 assists and 7 digs. Dylan Klein, 6 total blocks. He's been super strong for USC. But how about Shane Wetzel? 5 service errors, or excuse me, aces. That's extremely impressive. Swing in front, Pickering pins it against the net. Off of bodies, a point for Ohio State, out of the media timeout.
And as shown by those leaders, this game really has been back and forth, Andrew. It's a 2-point game here. Went to extra points in the third. The first 2 sets, 1 apiece, 1 going to each team. Been a really fun game so far.
Foley can't get it for USC. Pickering too long, but they say it hit hands. And all of USC isn't very happy.
USC nearly emphatic there, Andrew, that they did not touch the ball, but doesn't look like Jeff Nygaard's going to challenge the call, although he is having a discussion with the official.
Back to serve.
So point to Ohio State, they brought it within 1. Blanchette, quick set for Smith, and a huge block from Ohio State. Brady Jones yet again.
Man, he's had a great game as we take another look. The freshman from Ohio just rising up, leading USC at the apex, and just delivering a devastating block.
And a service ace for Ohio State. The snowball starts tumbling. A timeout for Coach Nygaard. A 3-0 scoring run for the Buckeyes, or instead 4-0 scoring run, puts Ohio State up 16-15. We'll stay here on Big Ten Plus in set number 4. The adversity for USC, they're going to need to find it way deep down. It's their first time that they haven't been leading set-wise so far this entire year, and it's because Ohio State's just been playing so strong.
And we've been seeing the frustration boil over on the USC side. First, it was that controversial point, the USC players talking to the referees, nearly losing composure, and then in the next point, they have a miscommunication on the serve, not able to get on.
It's to a very good number 13 Buckeyes team. Aaron Grimm coming off of his second service ace this season. Here comes Klein, huge swing. Sent back to USC, this time it's Smith. Henwood, Jasinski in the back row, too long.
What a powerful hit there, went a little too long, but Jasinski really just a missile, but wasn't able to find that back line. Trojans were dodging out of the way there to make sure no one touched it on its path past the back line.
He knew he was going to be good coming into this season. Preseason 2026 All-MIVA squad. Ohio State with Pickering. They're saying it touched. And the officials agree.
USC not seeming to argue the call too much. Felt as if they probably did touch that pass ball as it traveled out of bounds, as the Buckeyes are looking to capitalize here on this point.
And Smith, in response, a big swing. His 10th kill of the night. 7 total blocks as well.
Dylan Klein here looking to really take some momentum back for his team and try to close out this fourth set strong.
All at 17, top spin across, and a service ace.
I don't know if you could have placed that in a better spot, Andrew. It was right on that line. We had a great look at it here on our side. What a placement there from DK.
You're totally right. I couldn't walk out there and drop it in a better spot. 18-17, USC back up by 1 over Ohio State. And just after, Klein gives it right back with the error.
Service error here yet again by the Trojans. Really feels like that's the momentum killer here for them in this fourth set.
Klein from the back row rifles it off of hands.
Dylan Klein responds after a fourth. Actually, rather, they called it the other way and gave the Buckeyes a point, saying that, I'm not quite sure, Andrew.
They were saying a back row attacker on USC. So the point goes to Ohio State. Another one doesn't go the Trojans' directions, but Klein's going to run over and try to talk about it with the official. Coach Nygaard on the side goes and asks, what are we talking about? And the official, in a nice way, what are we talking about? A questioning way. Gets the call, he says okay, and turns around. 19-18, Pickering might have slipped a little bit on the serve. Set for Foley, and puts it down. Foley, a great night. 9 kills so far today, 7 digs as well. Trying to lead UNC to a 4th set win and send it the distance. All knotted up at 19 though. Still a long way to go. And with Rodriguez, Jasinski gets caught in Foley and falls down. Ohio State back up by 1.
Couple players for USC a bit shaken up. Seems like everyone is all right as the Buckeyes here look to take advantage and extend their lead to multiple here late in this 4th set.
It's Andrew Chapin in there who's setting, and the serve goes off the back line judge's foot, so it'll be a point to USC. A big serve for Cooper Keene, the freshman. Off the top of the net and falls away. 17th service error on the night for USC. Ohio State almost there to a big win over USC.
See here if the moment is too big for the Buckeyes or if they're able to capitalize, rise to the moment, and learn from their mistakes last night.
Henwood Rodriguez throws it into the net, can't get it, another service error.
And we're going to see here if Sterling Foley is going to be able to capitalize on the other side now and pull the Trojans out in front.
21's apiece as Ohio State goes up one. Another one from Wetzel. How about this? His 45th attack on the night, 14 kills. Not necessarily where you'd like to be hitting percentage-wise, but you've put your team in a position to succeed. Sinski, a hard one. Dykstra pulls it out. Chape into Klein, straight down.
Dylan Klein with really a great attack there. Found the inside of that line and the outside of the defender. They're about 1 foot, maybe 6-inch space in between the two, and painted that front corner and got the point for the Trojans.
Ryan Sprague comes in, a serving sub for USC. Played at Loyola High School, not too far from here. Float serve across, up close, tapped over by Grimm. Klein on the joust, off of the hands of the Buckeyes in front. USC's up one.
Klein now with back-to-back attacks, back-to-back kills, almost saving this game so far for the Trojans. Let's see if the rest of them are able to rally around him.
Sprague again, close set. Henwood Rodriguez, another assist for him on the night. 41 assists and a great kill from Aaron Grimm.
And it feels like every time USC is starting to go on the run, the Buckeyes respond and are able to continue to keep control of this game.
Here comes Grimm, a thriller in the Galen Center. Klein sends it to the back line. USC set point in number 4. They need it, or else they might find their first loss of the season.
What an attack there by Dylan Klein. Cross court in the back, finds the line to give the Trojans the lead.
Here's the freshman Chapin and misses way outside right. All at 24.
The trust here Jeff Nygaard is showing in the young guys. Multiple freshmen here deep into the 4th set of a potential first loss for the Trojans.
So a timeout for Coach Nygaard. He wants to talk things over, knotted up at 24. A little bit of extra volleyball for the second time in 4 sets for the same price of admission.
I mean, if you're the Buckeyes, exhaustion has to start to set in.
Has to, I agree.
You play basically 4 sets for the price of 3 last night, go extra points already, going extra points again in a 4th set, and then if they lose this set, it's going to go to a 5th. How do you manage that is going to be the question for the Ohio State's team and the Ohio State's coaching staff. And do you start to bring in some more fresher bodies to help give your star players some respite?
I think you got to go for it. At this point in time, you have the opportunity to upset the number 4 team in the nation. Got to rely on your big guns. That would be Chizinski and Wetzel combining for 33 of the team's 55 kills. Pickering's got 8, Jones has got 5, Grimm's got 4. For USC, 3 players in double figures, 17 for Klein, and then 10 for Roberts and Smith apiece. Foley just right on that edge at 9 kills. Blanchette, a career high in digs at 14. Not in though right now. Here's the big serve, 24-24, set 4. Klein. Here comes Wetzel off the outside of the hand. Dykstra, far set. Klein with blockers in front. Chapin keeps it alive. Foley to Klein once more. Free ball across. Here's Ohio State. Henwood Rodriguez. Wetzel down the line. Great dig, Dykstra. Here comes Keene, and a big one from the freshman. Cooper Keene, how do you do?
One of the biggest plays here, probably the biggest play of his young Trojan career. Off a marathon rally, feels like USC has been able to get this ball and get this game back in their favor after not being able to end this set in regulation.
So set point for USC once again, 25-24, set 4. Ohio State's leading 2-1, the first time that USC has trailed in a match set-wise so far this season. Ohio State on the back end of facing 4 ranked foes in a 5-match stretch. If they can get this one, it is a massive win over the number 4 team in the country and will propel them up the rankings.
100%, Andrew. And if you're Ohio State, this kind of feels like what you've been building up to. First, you take the set off of Long Beach. Then you have that marathon set against UCLA. It's now, can you put those two things together, and can you use that experience, use those ingredients, and find a way to top the Trojans here in this 4th set in extra points, right the wrongs of last night.
They knew that this stretch was going to be really tough. But if they can find a way, it would help them exponentially. They were able to get a win over ranked George Mason. Fell to Long Beach State, fell to UCLA. But if they could go 2-2 against ranked opponents with a win against USC, they're in a good spot. But USC set point here in set number 4. 25-24. Trojans up by 1. Klein's going to be the man back to serve. The best server on this USC team, debatably statistically wise. Here comes Klein. A missile to the back line. No.
What a close call there from the referees. Looked definitely to be out, but not by much. If you're Klein, you probably want to have that one back, but wasn't a terrible attempt at a service ace, rather.
If you're Ohio State, you pulled the hands back and everyone just watched. It was close. Fans still on their feet, tied up at 25. Pickering to bring it across. Dykstra again. Here comes Foley off of the hands of 2 in front, Teresi.
Feels like deja vu, Andrew. Last time Ohio State tied it up, it was Sterling Foley on that left side, able to get it off the block of the Buckeyes. This time, the same thing. As we take another look there, just meets him at the apex, gets it on the outside of the arm, and out of bounds.
So Smith to serve, set point in numero 4. It's a knuckleball across. Henwood Rodriguez. Good block by USC. Ohio State's going to have another chance at it, though. Here comes Jasinski. USC blocks it again. Here comes Henwood Rodriguez. Huge block from USC. How about that? Sterling Foley. The roof explodes in the Galen Center.
How about back-to-back huge monumental blocks from Sterling Foley, Andrew?
So set number 4 goes to USC, 2 apiece. How about that, Sterling Foley? Let's head to the final.
Off this weekend.
Absolutely. You get the combo block with all your buddies. You get the combo block after that to keep it alive. Then you get the solo block to boot after that and bring it to number 5. Here we are.
If you're the Buckeyes here, what are you telling your teammates? What are you saying if you are the coaching staff and Kevin Birch in the huddle, it's how do you keep the mental going, the fatigue out of it? Is it just the adrenaline, or is it something else? Do you need another strategy, or can you continue to play at this breakneck pace, Andrew?
Well, you just got to put the pedal down at this point. You don't really have a choice.
We're waiting here. Andrew Wetzel preparing to serve. Has some hot and cold streaks here from the service line. Could be the difference in this fifth set, especially with the condensed point system where it's first to 15 instead of 25.
Welcome to set number 5, Ohio State and USC. Keene. Klein sends it across. Henwood Rodriguez with trickery. USC's on it though. Another chance, joust at the net. Henwood Rodriguez, a net violation. Point for USC. They get the first one in set 5.
What a way from Wesley Smith to patrol that front line, not allowing for any of the Ohio State attacks to get past him, not being fooled, and eventually picking up the point off the block.
Klein back to serve with top spin. Henwood Rodriguez, long set, Pickering, great dig out, Chapin. Dykstra sends one sky high, Foley with the long distance point.
You couldn't have placed that ball better, Andrew. That's the back right corner of the court. No one was there. Sterling Foley on a heater right now going into this fifth set.
11 kills, 7 digs, 5 total blocks. Joust in front. Smith with one hand gets it across. And a huge block from USC. How do you stop them right now? The snowball's well rolling downhill.
As we take another look here, Cooper Keene, the freshman, with the combo block with, as well as Smith, able to stifle that attack, smother it. Although we do get a challenge here by the Buckeyes, we're going to see whether or not that this challenge frenzy continues and if it's another successful challenge for Ohio State.
Yeah, stop me if you've heard this one before, but Ohio State's going to challenge the point. We've done really well on it so far today. 4 successful challenges, 1 unsuccessful. If it stands, USC is in a huge spot right now, leading 3-zip in set number 5. If it does not stand, it's 2-1 and Ohio State's brought it within 1. But you got to realize the momentum. If USC does get this point, they're going to explode off of the bench and try to keep things going.
And you can feel it in the atmosphere here, Andrew. The crowd was starting to explode. You can feel the energy building. The team was back into the game. The nervous energy was a little bit dissipated through the first 3 points of the set. So we're going to see whether or not it appears to be challenging the joust a little bit earlier in the point, if that comes back Ohio State's way, or if the Trojans are able to continue on this momentum, continue on this scoring streak, and continue what started at the end of the fourth set.
There was the joust between Henwood, Rodriguez, as well as Foley. Who else would it be except Sterling Foley right now? Coming off of a match that he didn't necessarily play as well as he would have liked, but today, firing on all cylinders.
And once again, we're getting a couple looks at the Jumbotron. It's really close. As we get a look here for you viewers back home, I'm not exactly sure. I don't believe this is the challenge. It's the challenge on the joust a little bit earlier, but that was a great play.
And they reverse it. So a net violation called on USC on the joust. 2-1, and the Buckeyes have 2 more challenges. They've only managed to falter on 1.
If you're Kevin Birch, you have to be really happy with how these challenges have gone your way and allowed you to really stay in and capitalize on a lot of USC mistakes.
2-1, USC leads over Ohio State, but there's Foley again. One more time, Sterling.
What a response by the Trojans. That could really take the air out of your sails, give the momentum back, allow Ohio State to go on a run of their own. But the Trojans are able to steady the ship and hopefully keep it sailing if you're a Trojans fan.
Up by 2 here in set number 5. We've gone the distance. A close set for Jones. USC is unstoppable at the net front. Sterling Foley yet again.
Man, Sterling Foley, the end of that 4th set, now into this 5th set, he is everywhere. It feels like there's almost 2 of him on the court right now, Andrew. He's really finding the ball at a high level.
Smith once again. Backside for Chasinski, and Ohio State stops the mini run. Brings it back within 2 here in set number 5. Buckeyes looking for a huge win over USC. They've had their number in the past 10 matchups. Buckeyes have won 7, only lost 3. Looking for a big win today. Jones the floater. Set for Foley, kept alive. Henwood Rodriguez. Here comes Wetzel off the side of the hand and well wide.
Wetzel there just seemed to miss-hit the ball, had an opportunity, Andrew. There's a hole there in the wall from the Trojan defenders, but couldn't quite find the center of the court on that line, sent it a bit strong towards the stands.
Here comes Cooper Keene to serve. Only played in 2 sets so far this season. And another service error. Pressure starting to build for the freshman. He's played in 4 sets today. Come in to serve quite a bit and knocks his 2nd service error of the day, team's 20th. Here's Keene off the hands. Grimm can't find it, and it falls.
Drew Hudson with a great effort there, not quite able to get it and save the miscommunication on the front line for the Buckeyes. On the other side, Dylan Klein able to get on the ground and retrieve it to prevent the service ace.
There's the man, the myth, the legend, Foley, and sends it too far. His 6th service error of the day. Now the team's 21st. If you're Coach Nygaard, you're going to look at that. Compared to your aces, you only got 4. Krasinski into the back of the net. Teams trade service errors. Can't have that if you're Ohio State. You really would have liked that point.
You really would have, Andrew. And also, it's just homing in bunches now. Service errors now on back-to-back points, multiple here in this set. Maybe the nerves are getting a little bit to both of these teams, although they have had a lot of service errors here during this game.
Sprague, the senior, for the serve, hits off of his hands last. Ohio State back within 2. They can't let it get too far out of reach. Anything more than 3, and you're scrambling a little bit.
Especially, Andrew, in a 15-point set. 25 feels like you have a little bit more time, but USC is already almost halfway to that target mark.
To the back row, Chasinski, too far. USC halfway home in set number 5. 2 teams will trade sides. But the Trojans up 8-5 in set number 5. Patrick, it's looking good right now for USC. The fans of the Trojans on their feet. 8-5, USC leads over Ohio State, trying to stop down the comeback from the Buckeyes on Big Ten Plus. Can Wes do it yet again for USC? Let's find out when we come back on Big Ten Plus. USC and Ohio State Tied up 2 sets apiece, 8-5. UNC currently leads in the 5th set. Let's take a look at some of the top performers tonight. Dylan Klein, Stanislav Jasinski, both playing real well. Similar amount of attack. Jasinski, though, does have the edge on quick kills. Has 20 so far tonight, which is a season high.
And Andrew, it's quite impressive. One of the best players in the nation in Dylan Klein. It's been Jasinski who has been arguably the better player here and gone kill for kill, dig for dig with Dylan Klein, and has allowed Ohio State to really play through him and be the star that they really need him to be in this matchup.
Ohio State has 3 players in double figures. USC has 4. Good serve, Chapin, the hit, long, but they say off of the hands of someone on USC in front. Coach Kevin Birch might as well be player number 7. He's on the court, the head coach for Ohio State, clapping his hands, saying, let's go, guys, we got this. Back to within 2. Shane Wetzel back to serve. 14 kills on the night, 4 aces. Chapin, set for Klein, and gets it.
What an attack by Dylan Klein here. As we take another look, ball is sent over, back and forth, and then Dylan Klein able to get around 3 Buckeye defenders for the point. Andrew, it has been very close here. Ohio State will trim it to 2. USC will extend it to 3, back to 2, back and forth. So we're going to see if maybe the Trojans can either extend it or the Buckeyes can close the gap.
Here comes Jones. Great dig out by Hudson. The rally stays alive. Wetzel too strong. Trojans up by 4, their largest lead in this 5th set. 10-6. Magic number is 15.
I mean, if you're USC here, Andrew, you can smell it now. You felt the comes out, be a little bit more conservative, or do you play your game, Andrew, and put it to Ohio State?
I mean, you got to play exactly how you've been playing. You talked about it earlier as well. I asked him, well, do you want to play faster? And he said, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But we're just here to play volleyball. We're here to do our thing, and why we're the number 4 team in the nation. It's a match that's had 37 tie scores, 10 lead changes as a whole. But it doesn't matter because it all comes down to this 5th set.
We've really been treated to an excellent game here, Andrew. Back and forth, as you were saying. And we're going to see if the stars for both teams are able to close this out, or if it is the other players that step up and make a difference.
Klein, great dig out, Jasinski. And there goes Pickering. A big kill from him. The junior is on fire right now. 11 kills on the night, make it 12. Brings it back within 3. Pickering one more time. And a service error.
Not quite able to compound and build on that kill that he just had with the service error. Yet another one in this game. Not particularly close to the top of the net. Just kind of mishit it there, Andrew.
11-7, USC up by 4 in set 5. Only 4 more to go. Here are the Trojans. Smith aloft across. Here comes Wetzel from the back row. Number 15 on the night for him.
And that is there. How you make sure you don't completely lose yourself in the game. Felt like they were on the brink, able to score a point, keep themselves in this game as we get closer and closer to the end of this 5th set.
Got to go on a run if you're the Buckeyes, and that won't do it. Misses right, 20th service error of the night for Ohio State. 2 more than they had last night against UCLA. Trojans back up by 4. So the freshman Cooper Keene back to serve. Didn't play last match. Here he is. A missile over the top. Skims the top of the net. Foley sends it across. Here's Chasinski, taps it into the open floor. Ohio State still has life, but they gotta go on a run on this service run. It's gonna be in the hands of Daniel Henwood Rodriguez. 6 service aces on the season. Has one today as well. A deep breath, down by 3, 5th set. Here comes Henwood Rodriguez. Chapin, Foley. Henwood Rodriguez, this time Chasinski sent away Zamprano. One more time, Henwood Rodriguez up in front, and this time off of the hands of Zamprano, and Ohio State brings it within 2.
Chasinski here, multiple kills in the past few points, able to stabilize this Ohio State attack, cut down the lead a little bit, was 4, now 2. USC only 3 points away from victory, but now Ohio State in threatening position again.
They're well in it, and you knew that they would be fighting. After last night in a tough second set loss, they were going to come out in all forces today against USC. 12-10, set number 5, as we head toward what will be the final round here in a second.
And Andrew, what an into this game. As we see, the first 4 sets really great. Felt like USC may have just taken control of this game, but now Ohio State responding. Let's see if they're able to fully close the gap, or if USC can regain momentum and stretch the lead.
Feels like a boxing match between these two teams, both of them just trading off blows, and it comes down to the final little stretch. We'll send things quickly over to McKenna Arteaga here in set number 5. What do you got, McKenna?
Thanks, Andrew. You know, as we get ready to close out this 5th set, service pressure has been a major separator here. I mean, even coming into this match, USC had 29 service aces in those 4 matches, more than double than what their opponents have against them. So far tonight, they've only been able to put up 4 to Ohio State's 7. Something that you definitely need to watch out for as both teams try to close out this set strong. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, McKenna. Point goes to USC. Ohio State doesn't like it. Are we going to say the magical words one more time? Yes, we are. Ohio State challenges yet again. Their 7th challenge of the night. Point initially to USC, 13-10 as it stands. But it might change. If it does change, mind you, that goes 12-11 in set 5, and Ohio State is well back in it.
And it feels like each one of these challenges, Andrew, just grows in importance. And they keep getting harder to discern as we get later and later into this game. Not completely sure what they're challenging at this moment as we look at the Jumbotron, as well as another couple replays back in our control center to determine, but could be a great momentum shifter for either side.
It would be really big. USC going up by 3 or Ohio State bringing it within 1. You might have a quick answer, no. We're talking about how Coach Nygaard just loved this team so much, knows how close they truly are as a bunch together. 4 different Trojans in double-figure kills. 18 kills for Klein, he leads this Trojans team. 12 for Foley, 10 for Roberts and Smith apiece. On the other side for Ohio State, Stanislaw Chasinski leads all players with 22, 15 for Wetzel, 12 for Pickering, so 3 for Ohio State as we take a replay look at the last point, try to figure out exactly what we're looking at here. So there's Keene.
It may be a net violation, Andrew, because I believe the referees blew the whistle before the play was dead based on the reactions from the Trojans on that replay. Hard to tell from that angle whether or not one of the Buckeyes defenders that was up on that front line had touched the net. We'll see here what the refs decide in a moment.
Wesley Smith looks on as well, ready to check in for USC momentarily. Hitting 47% on the night, 7 total blocks as well. He watches on. We might get a word. No, we don't. Now we finally will.
As we take another look here, maybe a slightly better angle. We'll see. Oh, it's so tough to see whether or not Jasinski touches the net there on that USC attack. His hands are fully outstretched, but they are really high over that net, so it's tough to tell.
It looks like there's a possibility for an inadvertent whistle. So you were right, you heard the whistle, and there might not have been anything at all. But Ohio State players are wondering what's happening. Maybe it's not. 13-10 as it stands, USC over Ohio State in set number 5. Magic number's 15. Ohio State looking to knock off number 4 USC. Here we go, possibly an official word. No, they're going to look at it one more time. So we stay here, we look at both teams. Ohio State hitting 22.7% in this match. It's enough to get it done so far for the Buckeyes and at least stay in it for set number 5. USC hitting 324.
And I mean, Andrew, this break, the wonders it does for the Buckeyes. 5 sets, back-to-back nights, late. Now you have what seems to be at least a 4 or 5 minute break to regroup, take a deep breath, as well as a possibility to maybe shave off one of the points here late in this game.
As Zamprano taps the watch a few times. The review time over 2 minutes now, well over 2 minutes. As the official continues to watch. USC looks like they've been here before. Ohio State, calm.
And Andrew, as this timeout goes on longer, what do you say to each team? If you're USC, how do you deal with this stoppage? And then also, if it is an inadvertent whistle, what will the ruling be by the referees? And how will they play this out for the rest of the set?
Well, it looks like we don't necessarily even have to talk about how it would play out because the call stands on the floor. USC ends up taking it, but it's a massive point. USC 13-10 over Ohio State in set number 5. The ruling goes their direction, and that's a big one.
It really is. Now the deficit is larger than what USC needs to capture the victory here. The comeback win over the Buckeyes. And what a way to regain momentum and to fight back, to show why you're one of the top 4 teams in the nation if you are able to complete this comeback.
Buckeyes trying to figure out where they are in rotation. The scoreboard goes to 14-10. That's not necessarily what it is. I think it's 13-10 instead. It's set 5. (13-10). Here's Hudson for Wetzel. Dug out by Foley. Back set Dykstra to Klein. Off of the hands of Krasinski. USC. Now it's 14-10.
This crowd can feel it, Andrew. They are on their feet behind us. We can hear them every serve, every point, ready to explode. USC now mere inches away from victory with this 4-point lead. But as we've learned throughout this entire game, the Buckeyes do not stop fighting. So it is, can they come back?
Match point for USC. Here's Foley. And doesn't get it. Another service error for USC and Sterling Foley. 14-11. Ohio State down by a triple. They need a little bit left in the tank. A marathon yesterday. going the distance today. Down by 3. In the hands of Chisinski, leading all players on the floor with 22 kills. Foley digs it out. Chapin. Klein with the joust. Off of the elbow. West of Grimm. USC squashes the comeback. The upset 15-11 USC beats Ohio State by 4.
Oh my, Andrew. Absolute amazing finish to this game. USC felt almost down and out late in the 4th set. Came back off of some heroics from Dylan Klein. Then Sterling Foley able to finish the set out. And then in the 5th set, they just took control. Even when it felt like Ohio State could come back in, USC had a response, and it was everybody, not just Dylan Klein, that stepped up for the Trojans late in this game.
So USC takes it in a long 5-set win. They take set number 5, 15-11, and stomp down number 13, Ohio State, in what they were hoping would be a huge upset victory over the number 4 USC Trojan. USC stays perfect. They move to 5-0. Buckeyes, in their last of a gauntlet, will move to 4-3. What a match, though, from Sterling Foley. Finished with 12 kills on the night, 8 digs, and 6 blocks.